Welcome back to Joy in Our Town. I'm Dolly Velasquez, and with me is Danny Cavett, who is a chaplain, but he also serves as the director of the chaplains at the Children's Hospital OU Medical System. He is also the founder of Cavett Kids Foundation. Welcome to Joy in Our Town, Danny. Now, let me ask you this. A camp for children. What kind of camp is this camp?
Well, we have actually 6 camps, and it's okay. Let me give you a start.
Okay.
It's a story. Okay.
Absolutely.
Started at Children's Hospital and now expanded to the other hospitals as director. But anyway, when I was at Kids, I noticed that all of a sudden our diseases like cystic fibrosis, sickle cell, that kids will usually die at around 9. That was the average length of life. And so I did a lot of funerals, a lot of family stuff, okay? Then all of a sudden, their length of life got longer. But the kids were always treated like a victim. That's important. And if you're treated like a victim, you don't thrive in the way God wants you to, right? So that disturbed me. How can we do that? How can we teach the kids not to be a victim? And I remember one of our cancer docs said, well, no, we can cure them of this, but sometimes they ended up like a brat, and so have we really done a great job?
Wow.
Anyway, so
let me ask you, let me just stop you for, who treats them like a victim? The parents?
Parents, society,
period.
the whole thing, yeah. Poor little Johnny, poor little Susie. And you get that all the time, and all of a sudden, you become victims. And
without realizing.
Don't get me into politics and stuff, but a lot of America is what I call into a victimization. I deserve this because I'm a victim.
Okay. And so you wanted to change that.
Yes.
In the lives of these children, knowing that mentality is not going to cause them to thrive. And you wanted them to live their lives to their fullest. And what did you do?
Well, I knew from my past that we could teach the children, but the best way to teach anyone, even adults or children, is to teach while they're doing something fun. You don't have to do repetition like going to school. Okay, A, B, C, A, B, C. You know, repetition when you're not really into it.
I'm victorious. I'm a champion.
But when you don't feel like it, but when you're having fun, I can teach. And through my research at all my stuff, I learned that we could put a lot of this stuff into 3 C's. Kids I get a kid up here right now, they can tell you all the 3 C's. Coping, actually it's character first, coping, and connection. If you can learn those 3 things and how to do those 3 things, you can go beyond a victim. And I say, all right, who wants to be a victim? They say, no. Who wants to be just a survivor? No, we don't be just survivor. This means you just made it. You want to be a thriver. I love the song Thrive. I use it these days when it came out, Casting Crowns. Anyway, I use it. Anyway, so the point was then, let's teach in a camp setting. So the nephrologist said, well, Danny, we got these kids on dialysis, and this was almost 39 years ago. And I said, well, let's do this camp thing. And so we did the camp, and the kidney camp now is the oldest kidney camp in the nation for kids with kidney issues.
So when you take
39 years old.
Wow. When you take the children to camp and they're on dialysis, what do you have to do? Do you have to
take the dialysis machines, we got the nurses, we got the lab that we take. You have to have all that so you can do dialysis.
Now, if the children go to regular camp, they're going to be the outsider. But going to these camps, everybody has an issue.
Well, they can't go to camp ordinarily because they're on dialysis.
Oh, that's true. Very well said. You're absolutely right.
When you're doing this, they do their dialysis and you can come back into the other stuff. Now we take, anyway, so to give you the long story, but anyway, so that became very successful. Kids got connected, and so 2 years later, cancer docs said, we like this, can we do something for cancer? Now, and so I said yes, so we do that, and that started, this would be actually our 36th year next week. And we take them to Winter Park, Colorado, and we put them in the handicapped ski school because these are older teens, only 20 on this one, because we want to set them down, sit on the floor, and we're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about when did you get mad because someone, when did you maybe feel like you might die? What did you do about it? We kick all the adults out, and you'd be surprised.
How they open up.
How they open up, and it's better than a lot of adults, you know, all of us, a lot of adults have a lot of extra stuff. Anyway, 36 years now.
Wow.
And then about 6, 8 years ago, no, I mean longer than that, lose track, the heart people want me to do that. So we have a heart camp another week, and again, it's 20 older teens, and it go to, I got to challenge them somehow, you don't want to be big, so we go to Angel Fire, New Mexico, which is 8,000 feet. Hearts can't go to altitude.
No.
So if I take my by the way, I got to have the doctors, got to have the nurses there, because they got all kinds of medicine, so on. So that happened, and we even have a leadership camp. Again, take 20 from all the camps that we have of kids that are going to be leaders, and they have to show how they've got the character connection, and we have that on Lake Eufaula. But the crown one, the big one, is, I hate to tell you, Camp Cabot. They won't let me take that off. But my idea way back when, someone said, well, what's your dream? I said, all these chronic illnesses, there's only 2 or 3 kids, maybe 1 in the state that have this type of very rare thing. Let's put them all together because they have all the same issues that you're dealing with. That's 240 kids. All of them have meds from 3 to 5 times a day. And we go to a church camp down, at that time it's the largest camp before Dry Gulch. And have to have air conditioning, have to have a lot of water. So we go down to Lake Texoma, and we use the Methodist campgrounds down there. And that's gotten very big. And then we have our last one because of school coming in. We run 3 camps at once, and that's at Pryor, Oklahoma, at a place called Dry Gulch, which is like a frontier city. It's more like a resort, I tell you.
It's a Western town.
Great, yeah.
Universal Studios has nothing on them.
Oh,
it's
that's
amazing.
right. Well, it was a movie studio to start with.
Oh, that's true. When he was
Willie George was
recording the
and then
children's
the
program.
FAC, whatever, they said, well, we can't.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we have 3 camps there. We have our kidney camp, still going there, and it's much easier to have dialysis there. And then we also have a mobility, or I call spina bifida camp. It could be CP or whatever. And then PKU, which is, probably don't know anything about it. It's a genetic thing that kids are born with that you can't have any protein.
Wow.
No meat, no dairy. If you do, it causes mental retardation.
Danny, the logistics of putting these camps together, I cannot imagine. You have to have doctors, nurses, the medicines. You have to have ramps because the children are in wheelchairs. You have to be able to cart them. And thank you so much for doing this, because not only do you have these camps are provided completely free to these children.
And the other unique thing is our teaching. A lot of people have camps. You got a 4-H camp, you got a Boy Scout, and they may do things. But our teaching is teaching on character. How to cope.
Why is character so important?
That's your foundation. As you well know, Jesus said, if you build your foundation on sand, it falls. And if you build your foundation on rock, so we got to build our foundation on rock. God doesn't make mistakes. And these things happen, yes. But you can thrive by taking this and using it.
Danny,
Or you can be a victim.
That's true. You've been doing this for 40 years. You've been a chaplain for 40 years. You have a pin there. That's so awesome. But what motivates you? Why are you doing this? I cannot imagine how much work it is and stress. And what motivates you to minister to these young people?
It's like anyone in ministry. When you see people catch the idea, catch the spirit, so to speak, make a difference, and then see them practice it when they come back. And I get to see them come back to clinics and see how they blossom with this.
So you're saying as you were going into the hospital room and seeing this young person, this child or this family, feeling completely defeated, being being a victim and saying, poor me, they go to camp and they come back with a renewed vitality of saying, maybe I can't walk, maybe I'm attached to a machine, maybe I can't go to those high altitudes, but this is what I can do.
And you can use it for God's glory. And I got many stories of the kids. Kids will tell you about it.
3 minutes left. Tell me a story or two.
Well, I walked in a room, and it was a girl with a digestive. She couldn't eat. And I told her and met her. I said, well, you know, there's other kids. All right, there are other kids? What are you talking about? This is a teenager. Yeah. I said, come to camp. And it completely, she was in depression. She was on depressed medicines. Completely turned her life around. Now they can't wait. In other words, it's such a part of their life that they can't wait for the next camp. They talk about the next camp after the first camp. And it becomes part of life because that's where they connect again. That's part of spirituality. Connect again. Then you go out and you practice it. And then you get encouraged again by connecting.
So those kids, those young people that have been going for years, see a new one coming in and
oh, they encourage. And we tell them they got to. They really need to.
They become ministers.
It's part of spirituality. If you don't connect, you got to connect with yourself. You got to connect with someone going the same thing. You got to connect with someone you can help. If you don't, it won't work.
Danny, with about 2 minutes left, what would be some of your final thoughts to encourage people who are suffering or they've been given a diagnosis that sounds insurmountable?
First of all, go to your identity. God, that makes sense. God can use this. God can help you. Then get your connects, like I talked about. Connect with yourself. Okay, where am I at? Connect with someone who's going through the same thing. Even in church, connect with someone you can help. Connect with someone that can help you. That's not bad. And connect with God. And as we talked about meditation, so on down the line. Then you got to know your values. Your values are your core thing. Okay, what's important to me? Do those things. Make sure you got that bucket list and what God has for you to do. And then know the difference between purpose and meaning. God created you. You're not junk. He created you for a purpose, to show His glory. Well, then start doing it. That's the meaning. Does that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense. And I have found in ministry that it is sometimes very difficult to get a person out of a mentality of, okay, this is the death sentence. I might as well just roll up in bed and die. And then there's the other person that says, I'm going to live. I'm going to survive this.
Right.
And
I'm going to thrive with it.
I'm going to thrive with it. What can I do? And I would imagine the lives of these children, they are all of a sudden they recognize there's a lot that I can and I will do.
That's right. If you can get them that.
Danny, thank you so much for what you are doing in our city, in our hospitals, to minister to our children, our families, and also training, because you do free training at the hospital. People can find out how they can do the same thing that you're doing.
Yes.
And thank you for training our chaplains across our state. And thank you for joining us, enjoying our time. We'll see you next time.